Ladies and gentlemen, Marion Blair here. One of the things you want to look out for when you get a filter set, fuel filter set, is counterfeit, cloned, whatever. Particularly if you're buying off of Amazon or eBay, which I've pretty much decided I'm going to get away from because Amazon is really doing a lot of bait and switch. I don't trust them anymore. And of course, eBay is eBay, and you never know what you're going to get there. But there are some identifying marks on a legit filter, and I can show you what I know. There's no magic bullet, so to speak, but there is some things, some ways you can tell. And unfortunately, the only way you can tell, though, is when you get them in hand and start looking at it. I guess the good thing about Amazon is you can return them if you need to. As I said, I'm getting away from that. My next ones are going to be RACOR. RACOR makes the filters for MOPAR and FLEETGUARD. They're identical other than the paint. So you're in good shape if you get the RACOR. And they seem to be the most economical. I saw this one, I've got it cut open right now, but I saw this one for $49. And that's going to be, like I said, identical to what we got here. Never use anything but one of those three: RACOR, FLEETGUARD, or MOPAR. There's more to these filters than appear. I haven't cut this up, but there's a lot going on in this filter. There's a lot of proprietary water separation material here that only RACOR has the patent on, and you want to use, what the truck came with. That's my thought, that's my opinion. But as far as looking at different ways to tell, if you look at the filter, you're going to see FLEETGUARD right here. You're going to see Cummins. You're going to see some numbers right here, patent pending. You got Cummins written across here. I don't know if you can see that. If you flip it over, you can see a little green part number in here, and every original I've seen so far has that. So I think, if you've got those things, you're in pretty good shape. I've got a brand new one here. This one came out of my truck. I've got a brand new one here. Never use one that this wrapper has been opened. And so far, everyone I've seen has this little green check mark on it. I don't know if that's, I haven't paid that much attention to it, but here lately, that's what I've been seeing. You want it to look like this. It's going to have the paperwork inside with the O-ring. If it comes in a Ziploc or if this is open, I'd send it right back. And I know Geno's has the filters. They should be all, original OEM stuff. They are a little bit on the expensive side. I'm looking for a place I can source these things that are cheaper but yet more reliable as far as knowing that you've got original stuff. Yeah, I know that everybody would say, well, you paid this much for the truck, what's 20, 30, 40 bucks going to save you? No, I agree with that. If you can get them for, say, 40 bucks cheaper, why not, And be confident that you're getting the real deal. So far, I've been lucky. I haven't had any issues with that. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. On the back one, it's kind of a little bit tougher. Of course, after the fact, you can pull this off. And if you look in here, you're going to see a little prong. And that prong is what offseats that check valve when you screw it in. That's why you got to kind of push up a little bit hard to get it going, because that prong is off-seating that check valve. So that's the deal on that. And you want to make sure when you put it on, if you don't feel that, then you might as well stop right there. If you don't have to push up and off-seat that check valve, if it just threads on easily, then you're kind of wasting your time because you're not going to get fuel flow. And you can look at the video on how to check that. One of my latest videos, I show where I jump fuse 70 in a fuse box and flow through a 1 gallon jug just to make sure. But in fact, that's the way I like to purge my whole system when I change my filters. But anyway, look for that. And of course, after the fact, if you cut it open, you're going to see this PA5 and some numbers here. I don't think you're going to see that on the clones. They don't go through that much trouble. That's why they're so damn cheap. So you can see it right here, PA6, GF33. Little markings like that are telltale. Unfortunately, this is cut open, so you're not going to be able to look at that. But generally, the quality too, these are very heavy. You see, here's one, it's cut open. It's cut open, it's got a number here. All of those things are kind of telltale that it is an original. But all you're going to have access to is this, basically. And so it's, but you know, weight is important. You're going to have all these little markings and stuff on it, like the little revision here. Of course, they can clone that. I'm not that naive to say that, okay, that means it's, you know, it's an original. And that's why I think the real one is probably a little bit tougher to tell. So, you know, the answer is to find a place that we can trust, that has good prices. And, you know, Geno's is okay. They've got decent prices. They're high. They're higher than normal, but that's okay. I understand the theory. You know, you want to make sure you're getting the right original stuff. That's fine. The Parker RACOR is a little bit cheaper. And I'm going to look for also, you can do in your area, you can look for Cummins dealers and see what they've got. Another thing on these new ones, the OEM front ones, you can see how they have a kind of a double filtration system. A lot of the clones, you're not going to see that. So you got the pleats inside, and then you've got kind of a secondary filtration. And these things are really fine micron. The clones, you don't know what you're getting there, so stay away from that. Some people say, well, wicks, filters and stuff. Personally, I'm staying with one of the three, the MOPAR, the FLEETGUARD, or the RACOR. And as I said, RACOR makes these filters. And I've talked to the RACOR people. They're not, it's, you know, you say, well, how does that water separate? There's some pretty good technology went into that. There's an excellent film on YouTube where they explain that. There's a female engineer that goes through it. And it's a pretty damn good filter. And as you know, RACOR filters are all over the world. There's not a boat out there in the Gulf of Mexico or anywhere else in the world that doesn't run RACOR filters. So we're in good shape with this. Unfortunately, Ram discontinued those rear filters on the newer trucks. I don't know if they're going back to it or not, but probably price, because I'm sure RACOR gets a pretty good price for these things. They're worth it. I'm glad our trucks have them, at least up to 18. That's it, guys. I appreciate you watching my video. Drop some comments if you want to criticize me or tell me I'm full of crap. That's fine. But that's what I got on this. Appreciate you watching my videos. Adios.